Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am super tired of being stuck in gold, so I've decided to go back through and watch some of my old games and just see where did things go wrong? Could I have done something better? Did I really just have bad teammates, or am I the problem? So I'm gonna go through. Let's start with just the very first one that we have here. This is what I thought was a really good game. Some of my team got a little tilted, but we pushed through it a little bit and we almost won. Like, it was really, really close. So we're gonna step through and just see what could I have done better. Looking at these stats, I mean, like, for a cloak, taking SVP, 43 kills, 52k damage. I don't know that I could have done much better. But looking at the stats of the rest of my team, like, and this is why you can't trust stats, right? Like, stats don't tell you everything. On paper, like, this is a good game. We did really well. Maybe this guy here we could have put a little more attention on, but I mean, other than that, it wasn't bad. Like, it was really, really close. So let's go to the replay. Let's go to the tape and see what happened. It's unfortunate that these replays don't give you like voice comms back as well. So we're playing defense here. I try to stay, you know, as back as much as I can. Let's get this out of the way. See, right there. So let's go back a little bit. So as we're starting here, as we're walking up, right? I am on voice comms. I'm over here telling the team, I was like, hey, watch this little area over here. There's the little hack where the team can get over. I was like, when we're attacking, it would be awesome to come across that way and then put a Groot wall across this choke point here, so we're good. The Groot on my team decided to, instead of, you know, doing that later, he trapped us outside so we have no avenue for retreat. So that was mistake number one. And maybe he misinterpreted me saying that. I don't really know. But you'll see here, I'm like, oh, let me go retreat. Oh, shit, I can't. So I had to squeak through that little hole just so I don't die. But then I'm cut off from healing the rest of my team. I could have maybe tried to get on the top there, but in the heat of the moment, I don't really know what else I could have done. So, like, we're holding this pretty strong. Like, we get a couple quick kills early on. We're not really doing bad, and I was at, like, had we played against a better team that was more aggressive, I think we would have struggled a lot more at this point. Because you'll see here, like, I'm just healing away. Like, I don't even have to heal myself. And if the healers aren't going down, the healers aren't going down. And it's easy. You're going to keep your team up, right? So I try and poke, try and do a little bit of damage when I can, but make sure everybody is healed up and good to go. That light shield that amplifies the healing is huge. I try and get that anytime you're in a fight. I try and get that going as much as possible, just so team is healed. I don't know why. Hold on. Hold on. I want to go back. So I don't know why, and let's look at this here real quick. So I don't know why tanks and DPS do that. It's like they're scared of the healing bubble. So watch this. I see the tanks running away. I was like, hold on, go up. He just runs away from it. Okay, he did come back. He came back. So, but that's something that happens all the time. Like, my tank will be retreating. We've got a good little vantage point. All right, so that death, I probably could have done something different. What could I have done? All right, so he threw that immediately after casting it. I don't think I would have had enough time to cloak out of it anyway. But does it show my cooldowns? I didn't have my healing bubble. If I had my healing bubble, I think I could have thrown that down. But, you know, it happens. We've still got a Loki on point. Like, we should be okay. Team's holding pretty good still. I want to say we kept this. They didn't take it here. They didn't take it until later. So, right off the bat, a lot of my team is low health. So the first thing I start doing, I see this Venom ulting. I know they're going to need heals over here. That's a clone, so it's whatever. But my main focus is let's keep this Groot alive. I've got my ult. I pop it immediately to try and get as much heal as possible. That right there is, I think, is a good play. And you'll see I try and go back to my team and I threw my bubble down. My Loki, you know, threw his down as well. So we got a ton of heal, but that was the goal, is keep the team alive as much as possible. I started taking a little bit of damage, I back out, make sure I don't die. So that's, like, as a healer, that's one of the biggest things that I try and do, is just, you gotta try and stay alive as long as possible. Because the second you go down, like, it takes a while to get back. Like you saw before, we're in this situation, this fight, because I died.
To put on a show.
I do try and poke out a little bit more damage when I can. Right now, because I saw that Luna ult, I'm trying to just charge my ult as much as possible. So, dealing absolutely as much damage. This Venom is on me, but I go back behind my tank, I get in my heal bubble, and I'm good. So, right there, I got it. I try and save them. I see they're ulted. I try and get as much heals as I can to just keep them up. Unfortunately, he was too low. My bubble was on cooldown. You know, those things happen. So I think at this point right here, because I think I'm about to die, I've got the whole enemy team here, and I think I am probably the only one left still alive. We've got 2 others. We got 3 down right now, their whole team here. I should have backed out and tried to stay alive, I think. Which I tried to. I just did it a little bit too late. So if we back up just a smidge. So we'll see. So right here, as soon as these 2 were down, the main tank I was with, that's when I think that's when I should have gone out. Let me know in the comments what you think. See, instead of going in right there, instead of going in for that little poke, that little extra poke, as soon as they went down and I hit this, I should have been trying to get out the side there. But instead, I went for a little poke because I was focused on the fight, took too much damage, they got the kill, which is fine. Not the worst thing in the world. They already had the point. I am going to be put closer back with my tank because they're coming back. So we're not too staggered, but I definitely should have tried to get out of there when I had the opportunity. And I did not. Yep, so get a bunch of heals in. So right there. So right as I'm coming in, so I usually try and save that light blast, I forget what it's called, for when I have like some of my team grouped up, but I see this whole enemy team coming. I see my Strange going down pretty low. Let's get the heals in, keep him alive. I think that was a pretty good play. Try and get some more on our DPS, get him back up. Like, I think I'm doing pretty well right now. That's a mistake right there. And I'm taking health too, because I'm doing damage. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4 of them right there kind of pushing us. Look at this group is like, he's on his way to die, I'm about to die, and I'm doing damage. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I got a little kill crazy, and see, I died, my group, a whole team's dead. Whole team wipe. That one's on me. So lesson number 1, only be aggressive with damage when you have the opportunity to. Don't always try and push it. I should be prioritizing healing over damage. Yeah, that was a mistake. The plus side of this is our whole team is grouped up again. So we're not, a team wipe, we're not staggered. Yep, ulting, I'm trying to keep them from taking this point. Now see, here's the time to take damage, right? Here's the time to deal some damage. So they are all down, right? They got 1, 2, 3 down. Our whole team is up. And so one thing I need to start doing, and I thought about this the other day, is with Cloak, before you pop her ult, as soon as you're done ulting, that field is sitting there healing you. So what I end up doing is I want to do a bunch of damage as soon as that ult goes off, because I'm getting that healing, but I waste some of that ult timing because I'm using, like, I'm still in dagger mode, right? And then I make the switch after I ult. So, like, if you watch when we get up here... Oh, did I go too far back? No, I didn't go too far. So, like, right here, I'm dagger, I'm gonna ult across the point, right? And then as soon as it cools down, I switch to do damage. I should have made that switch before I ulted, that way I immediately pop into dealing damage. And I probably would have gotten this kill on this Loki a lot quicker if I'd have done that, but I still got it. And if you'll notice, like, I got that one because he was just back there. But the plan with that, and I do this a lot with Cloak, is I use her ult to get into their backline. Now that it doesn't stack, and you've got auto aim with Cloak, you get into the back line and it takes no time at all to get their healers down as long as you don't have another support ult going. And I think that works out really, really, really well. So we capped it. Let's go ahead and clean all this up. That's good. My team's pretty healed. Cloak is a pretty good counter for Spider-Man. Now, granted, our whole team was focused on it right there. And so I don't know the ins and outs of this map too well yet, but I forgot, and I think my team maybe kind of forgot, that their spawn is right here. Because they already capped the point. So, like, I'm going up and killing these, and I'm like, oh no! There's the whole enemy team coming out of spawn. Just because I was thinking they were going to be way further back and they hadn't got it yet, but they did cap the point. So that time I actually got out of it because I had a little bit more lead time. That was good. Just overall, so fortunately, like, the enemy team is not really pressing me a whole lot. See, I should have, yep, heal the Strange. God, he's just taking, like, I tried to keep him up as much as I could. He's just taking so much damage from their whole team that... Now, alright, this is a mistake, and we're gonna watch this when we go through here. So, as we're retreating here, right, as soon as that Strange goes down, as soon as this Strange goes down, I know that I've got basically the entire enemy team against me, and I gotta get out of there. I would have tried to go a little bit earlier, except for the fact that I was just trying to keep Strange alive. Now, what I end up doing is I go invisible, and I go up here to get out of line of sight so they don't see me. But I'm in the opposite position of where the cart's going, and my team's over here, and I've got the enemy team between me and my team. So I wasn't quite sure how to recover, so I just kind of hide here, and I'm trying to just, you know, poke out some heals, poke out some damage where I can, without them noticing me. They do eventually notice me, and this Namor squid ends up getting me. I can't remember if it kills me. No, it doesn't kill me. But, like, at this point, like, and I think this is where I realized it right here, is after I kill this Namor turret, I turn back and look down, and I see the whole enemy team and then my whole team. I can't get heals in on them because of all this in the way, so I gotta try and figure out a way to get back. And unfortunately, you know what, looking at it now, I should have jumped over to this ledge here on the left and then kind of cut back around. I didn't see it at the time, so I'm just sitting here trying to think, like, all right, what do I do? How do I get back over there to him? Like, how do I was like, so I jump in the back line, do a little bit of damage. Knowing that I'm probably gonna die here, I thought maybe I could get Cloak off and then still get back behind my team. It just didn't work out. Let's see, how are ults? Because I don't pay attention to the ults a whole lot because you don't see it on the screen when you're going. I should do that more.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
Yep, got a bunch of heals in on the team. So I am trying to kind of counter Spider-Man a little bit. Now, I'm pushing up because I noticed this, and normally I would try and stay behind the team, but this is just moving and there's nobody on it, so we've got to get it stopped. So that's all I'm doing right here, is I'm just trying to cap that. I'm just trying to cap that so it stops moving, and they have to get back to it. I popped a little ult to try and keep things stopped. And now I'm just trying to build up ult charge again off that Luna's ult. Now I catch... Oh, I'm surprised that I didn't go directly after that Luna first. I did know I go in for the kill, but anytime I see a healer and I'm playing Cloak, I immediately go in for the kill, because killing healers makes such a difference in just the pace of the fight that you can do it now. Like, see, here I am just abusing Spider-Man. Like, he had a rough game. So, like, Spider-Man usually sucks for most support characters, but because of the auto-aim and the distance you can get with Cloak, it doesn't matter if he's jumping around up in the air. Like, you just start doing damage to him, and he can't get in close enough for it to really be a big problem for you. Like, and we're doing really well. Like, we're holding him here at this point pretty good. We got him down to almost 30 seconds. I want to say that they're going to push through and still cap this point and get all three, but we kept them down to super low time, and it could have gone, with this last team fight, it could have gone either way. And I think we would have been okay. Nothing crazy, just normal team fight. I'm keeping my distance. Now, one thing that may have been beneficial, I like trying to get... I still don't know how that got me. One thing that could be beneficial in this spot for me, and I think, honestly, this death is probably what lost us this round. If I had gotten out of that all, I think I'd been fine. But I could have gone back behind here and gone up on those stairs and gotten a little bit more high ground, and I think that would have done it. Because I would have been safe from that ult. We wouldn't have got it. Like, at this point, we're just too close. I tried to get back to help him stop it. Even if I got there, I would have just died anyway. Overall, pretty good round to start. A couple mistakes I think I could have fixed, but it's a learning process. You know, we're getting better with every game that we're playing, and especially going back looking at it, I think really helps, because it's really easy to lose a game and then just be like, oh, what's my DPS's fault or my tank's fault? But 9 times out of 10, you probably did something stupid, and you're the problem. I am the problem a lot, and I'm trying to get better. Or at least that's the way I like to think about it, because it's much easier to be mad at myself, because I can do something about it and fix it. It's much easier to go back and figure out, like, if you are the problem, because you can do something about that to fix it. If you got bad teammates, you can try and, like, ask people to switch and stuff like that, and I think comms are really important, but there's only so much that you can do, and you're not going to get most people to change or do anything different, so the only thing you can control is yourself. So I always just point the finger at myself, like, you know what, it's my fault, I messed up, what can I do better? How can I help the team more and maybe get some wins in, and let's start climbing a little bit. So this choke is really interesting from the other side. That little corner to the left here is a really good spot. I duck in there as a healer sometimes, because then I'm just shielded from damage. That Namor ult has been getting me a lot this game. I wonder, is there, like, an earlier warning sign I can tell that's coming? I know, like Moon Knight's ult, you can typically see it, like, a lot more before it goes off. Like, let me know in the comments, like, is there a way for me to figure out Namor? So this is a really interesting play that I did. So let me back it up a little bit. So what I'm doing here, I noticed that my team is all just sitting here at that choke point, and our tanks aren't really pushing in. Like, we're just kind of hovering in this area. It's almost like they were scared to push in, which, if you're playing tank, like, you got to be the one to make the move, right? The rest of the team is looking at you. Like, I'm just healing Strange like crazy, but he never goes past his choke point. He just sits there, he backs up, he's at full health. Like, go in, let's cap this point. So I get back up, I heal myself, I've got my ult up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be the change that I want to see. So I go in, and I'm like, we've got our whole team up. They just popped an ult out here. Somebody's got to push into the point, and if I push in, hopefully my team will follow me. At a bare minimum, I can get rid of this turret, and I can maybe take on their Luna. Their Luna popped ult, which is gonna happen, so I immediately go, like, let's get this nest out of the way while I got heals. And it's a good thing I did, because right afterwards, that Penny popped her ult, and she's gonna do way less damage without that there than if she did have it. So I died in the process, which is unfortunate. I don't think we pushed up enough at first, but you know what? It was a worthwhile attempt, I think. So I see, like, most of our team is dead, so I'm just kind of hanging back a little bit. I'm also on voice comms, telling the team, like, hey, let's go. I also tried telling the Strange at this point, like, hey, let's use your portal and get to the point. For some reason, the Strange I was playing with, at least in the first couple rounds, I don't think I saw him use it a single time. Like, never once used his teleporter. That'll get us right past his choke point in there. It could just be he's not used to playing it, he couldn't place it well, I'm not really sure. That Namor ult got me again. I knew that Namor ult got me a couple times during the round, but I did not realize just how many times it got me. So, that's interesting. I've never had that much trouble with a Namor that I remember. So, like, here's another one where, like, bro, Strange. Like, pop that ult, buddy. Or pop that portal. Like, let's go. But, no, we're gonna challenge the choke again. And I think it was at this point my team started getting a bit tilted. They're like, I started seeing GGs in the chat. They were just ready to give up. But a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of talking. I'm like, no, like, we got this. We're going to cap this point. And we make a pretty good push. This game went into, like, super overtime. And it's all about not giving up. Because there's, like, one little thing can make a difference in a game like this. Like, and a lot of it's mental. Like, you can't act defeated from the get-go. You got to play. Right? Our group goes down. You know, I'm trying. He's just standing out in the open. Now, see, our tank actually pushed in this time, and now we're on the point. Now we're doing stuff. There's that ult again. God, that Namor got me so many times. But fortunately, this push was enough that I think we actually took it. Did our Loki stayed up, that's why. I'll tell you what, if I could have avoided, I think probably the majority of my deaths in this game came from that Namor ult. So we're on there. I was like, it's overtime. Perfect time to get this ult off on the point. And I think we're able to take it. Take care of that Spider-Man again, because, you know, nobody's messing with my other healers, my squishies. And like I said before, ult's going. I'm in damage mode. I'm trying to get as much damage in, as much kills as I can. Spider-Man's back. Not today. Not today, Spidey. I think he actually right away. I don't think I actually capped the kill on him. Oh, somebody got him. Okay. So we finally capped this point, and we're set. Again, I see Luna. Luna's got to go. We got to get... If you get the healers, I'm telling you. You get the healers, you're good. Now, I'm actually surprised. I didn't see that nest for way longer than I care to admit. Fortunately, I didn't die from it. But those, the Moon Knight Unks, the Penny Nests, the Namor Squids, like, you gotta get rid of those as soon as possible. It's just free damage that nobody's paying attention to. So we got the first point capped. We're ready to move on. I think we're doing pretty good at this point. Like, it was a little rough start for us when we were on offense, but I think we started to really finally pull things together there in the end. Let's see how the rest of the game goes. So this area here, I think I have to really, like, try and create space for the team again. Now, I think maybe we just had somebody who wasn't comfortable or wasn't an experienced tank. So maybe they just thought, hey, I just gotta block damage. I used to do the same thing playing tank. I didn't really understand the concept of, you know, spacing this. So, again, I get tired with it. I was like, let me go ahead and push up. I'm gonna create all this space for my team. I tried to pop as much damage as I can. I couldn't get the Luna. She pops back, and I was like, alright, it's time for me to get out of here, make sure I'm safe. So I get back to my team. My tank is still on the point. Like, even with that ult, I did create some space out of necessity. You should not have to do that as a support. Like, you should be in the back line. That's where you're supposed to be. So that, you know, you don't die, the team doesn't target you, but Namor again! I mean, I survived it that time, but jeez. I think he used every single ult on me that he had. Yep, I see that Spider-Man. I almost chased him. I was watching for him to come from behind. He didn't. I did get on voice comms, and I was telling my team about it so that we had some kind of eyes on it too, just in case. So I didn't know where he was. And I hear it. I hear him back there. And I see him attacking my Groot. Unfortunately, I was paying attention. And he just kind of screws off and he runs away. But I mean, like, divers will kind of do that if they don't immediately make it. Oh, that was... So this is a really cool move that I did. So, if you watch this, I hear the Venom's ult going off. I didn't quite know where he was. But anytime I hear those kind of ults, I hear Penny's ult, I immediately try and get high ground if I can. Even if it's a tiny bit of high ground. So if you'll see this slope in the ground here versus this, those ults, if he's down on this lower part where the payload is, it's not going to hit you up here, right? So as soon as I hear that, I jump over here to this ledge just to get out of the path of where that's going. And even though you can see right here, I'm in that circle, because the ground's not connected, I don't really get hit with it. I also did cloak as well just to be safe, but anytime that I hear ults like that go off, I try and get as far away from it as possible, and with cloak and dagger, often the easiest way is just get a little bit of elevation. Get on a different plane from where they are, and you're going to be safe from it, because, like, especially Penny, while ulting, isn't going to come up there and try and get you. She's going to try and drop as many mines and do as much as she can on the ground. And things like that. So, really good push here. The Venom ult didn't do a whole lot. The Penny ult didn't do a whole lot. We still have the whole team. So we captured this first point rather easily. You can see it was at this point, like, my team started getting a little bit more optimistic. And they weren't quite as defeated as they were before. So you see him playing much more aggressively. Again, going after that Luna. Really, really good good, I think. I see Spider-Man again. Now, unfortunately, he ulted me that time, so I'll give him one, but the fact that Spider-Man had to ult me to finally get a kill on me, that's huge in my book. Absolutely huge. All right, so both supports are down. We're coming back. We're already, we got 2 down right now. We have 2 tanks up, though, so I'm hoping I can just, you know, get him a little bit of heals, keep them up. We're not trying to be aggressive right now. Now, see, I think our Strange probably should have played back a little bit more since we were down so many, but we did all right. Again, Luna's going. I'm doing as much damage as I can to try and build my ult. I did, if you notice, I popped in, I got a little bit. As soon as I started taking damage, I do a little bit of damage, and then I pop back out. So that's, I don't, almost kind of like a diver a little bit. You get in, you poke a little bit, you get out. Again, ult to make space. So since you can't stack it anymore, I try and get as much room as possible in just one line, right? So if we're taking like a domination point or something like that, I'll try and go as far around the entire point as possible. With these payload things, I try and start on it, and then as far forward as I can, so we've got a little bit of a gap where we've got healing for a few seconds all the way across. Hopefully my team was somewhere around there, and then we can go. Again, going right after that Spider-Man. Like, I was determined, because, like, I used to play Luna Snow a lot before I really started playing Cloak and Dagger, and man, Spider-Man was my nemesis, so anytime I see one of them, I get a little distracted, and I'm like, they're done. I ignored my team healing there. Unfortunately, they were fine, but, like, I was just so determined to get revenge on Spider-Man that I had to let it go. So we're back to defense on here. It went pretty well the first time. It ended up just going back to that final push where I died, I think. Let's see how different, you know, this time is. So again, I really like that move with Cloak. So I start taking a little bit of damage here, and I realize, hey, I'm a little out of position. I pushed too far forward, and I'm getting ready to start taking a little bit of damage, right? And they're pushing forward. So I do some damage right there, and I realize, hey, I'm getting myself in trouble. Let's get out of dodge, right? So I use this. I usually try and get a little bit of elevation, then I immediately pop my healing bubble to get myself back up. Perfect position, I think, right? I've got line of sight on my team, on my tanks as much as possible. I don't have it on my... I don't have anything on cooldown right now, so I just use that. Now, one thing I could probably do, I just used it there, and I realized about midway through this game, is you should be using that light thing from Cloak a lot more, because that's going to increase the amount of damage they take, and I forget about it, and I don't switch as much, especially when I'm having to do a ton of healing like this, but it is such a good thing. I should have gotten more up point. It was just me and Groot on there at the time. I think the one time I died without a Namor ult. Oh, that's too good. Alright, so they're going to take this point, I think. Our Strain, now, see this I didn't understand. So I definitely understand regrouping as a team. Maybe he didn't think he could make it back in time, but like we're in overtime, they're capping the point, and this Strange is just kind of sitting there. See, now he's starting to use the portal, and I'm wondering, I'm like, why is he just now using the portal? I think this is maybe one of the worst Strange portals I've ever seen. So they're pushing a payload, right? We need to be contesting them with the payload going this way, us going this way to stop them, right? So he pops this behind the payload on the coin. We're nowhere near it right now. Like, we're trying to catch up. They Groot wall. We can't get through. Look how much room this enemy team actually captures just because of the placement of that Strange portal. We wasted 2 support ults back there as well, and they're already moving. Like, that was unfortunate. Again, let me just farm ult charge so I can try and get it back. I was stunned and in group there. I couldn't do anything. I could have had better positioning, I think. But yeah, that whole push was like a little demoralizing because we started back there, and I got a little tilted at that point, and I was like, we should not be here right now. Like, this is not the position our whole team should be in. But, you know, those things happen. Chalk that fight up to a loss, move on. We did really good at holding him at this choke before. Let's see. We're still a little unbalanced in this fight, but we're doing all right with it. That Groot wall, I think, helped a lot to keep them stuck there. So at this point, we were amped. I thought the game was over at that point, and I threw some GGs in the chat. And then I was like, oh yeah, we gotta fight one more time. So this is a rather quick one. We just couldn't quite get the push, I think. I mean, overall though, like, it was not terrible. Spider-Man trying to get me in spawn. I was like, Spidey. Come on. So yeah, somebody got him. Notice that, like, it's a rare sight to see Spider-Man running away from people. And that just fills me with so much joy to see a scared Spider-Man on the enemy team. Yep. So we're here. I'm like, all right, I'm just doing a little bit of poke damage, trying to keep things going a little bit. Still don't know why we have not strange portaled to the point. Like, that should have been the play here, and we were telling him in chat. You know, I was telling him in voice comms. He does finally put it. I went through the wrong way, so then I was kind of stuck, and I was like, oh crap, what am I doing? But then we're blocked up by walls, so he put it in a really easy spot to block. We didn't get the whole team going at one time, so we ended up a little unbalanced, and unfortunately they end up taking this. Like, I'm kind of going by myself on the point right now. Like, it's me against the enemy team. I do as much as I possibly can to try and keep it going. Unfortunately, I'm one healer against an entire team, and it's just not enough. I did stay alive a lot longer than I thought I was going to, though. And unfortunately, they ended up capping it, and that's the game, right? All in all, I think it's a pretty good game. There's definitely some things I could have done better, but I think I did a lot really, really good. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If you have any additional advice, things I could have done better, things I missed, really appreciate it. It helps me get better. And thank you all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you later.